What's up, y'all? Today I got a very special video for y'all. It's about a show that just came out, and the main character is Billa's bitch ass. Actually, let me not say that. I low-key mess with Charlie more than I mess with Billa. All jokes aside though, we're gonna be talking about the Darwin incident. And if you never heard of that, just leave it to me. I heard the street started calling me Mr. Put You On. So let me live up to my name and put y'all on. The show starts off with a group called the ALA, the Animal Liberation Alliance. They're just like a protest group, and they're here to free some animals. These two cops try to run in and stop them, but the guy with the AK started spraying, and you can tell he ain't never used that gun a day in his life. Look at the recoil control. The two cops did the same emo and gave up. And then the ALA just freed all the animals, the rabbits, the dogs, the rats, everybody. They probably felt like heroes, bro. And just when they're about to leave after a job well done, one of the activists tells one of his buddies to come here. He follows him and they find a pregnant chimpanzee in labor. And without even thinking twice, they rush it to a hospital so it can deliver the baby. And come to find out, when the baby's delivered, it was a whole human-chimpanzee hybrid. And I don't gotta sit here and explain how crazy that is to y'all, right? Some scientists went behind everybody's back and f***ed the chimpanzee. 15 years go by, and this humanzee got adopted by parents and has been living a regular human life. And by regular, I mean like the way of living. He's still jumping around trees and shit. And when he was born, news spread all around the world. He became an icon instantly. Fast forward a little bit, and it's finally his first day of high school. And look at the fit. This shit is terrible. They really about to flame his ass, bro. He stands no chance. But I stood corrected. The moment he walked into that building, he was that guy. Everybody knew who he was. All eyes were on him. While he was in class, and the incident was happening outside. And the incident is something I see in every piece of media ever, but never seen in real life. A cat got stuck in the tree. And I thought this was a setup to see Charlie go do his job and climb a tree and save that cat. But I was wrong. This girl comes along and she starts climbing the tree without any hesitation. She gets to the top and tries to save the cat, but it falls off. She got good reactions and she saved it right before it fell. She probably felt like the GOAT, but then the branch started to crack. Charlie was in his classroom with the window fully closed, but he still heard the branch start to crack. That by itself is pretty insane, but I want y'all to look at how insane Charlie really is. The instant the branch cracked and they fell, Charlie had enough time to take off his shoe, jump out the window, and still be able to grab onto a branch and catch her and the cat at the exact same time. After that, Wolfie Raps and his friend were looking at the tree branch and they seen something absolutely insane. Charlie's grip was so strong, he left an indent in the tree. Fast forward a little bit and it's lunchtime. Charlie's sitting by himself and the girl he saved wants to sit with him. Her name is Lucy and they instantly hit it off. They become friends right away. How the hell Charlie got more game than most of y'all niggas? Y'all gotta step it up for real. Charlie got so much game, two more girls pull up to him and ask for a selfie. And y'all didn't notice, but Charlie's a vegan, and they start asking him questions about that. But then Wolfie Raps pulls up, and he starts trying to press Charlie. And I know that nigga mad cause Charlie's stealing all the hoes. He starts asking dumb questions and hypotheticals like, what would you do if a rat was diseased? Me personally, I'd just kill the little nigga. Now would you guys listen to that? He has no feelings. He would kill a fellow animal. Don't get it twisted. I'd slime your ass out too. What? School finishes and Charlie goes home. And now we can finally see what the ALA has been up to 15 years later. Back then they shot around some bullets, but they never really hurt anybody. And now they're just full-on terrorists. They're destroying restaurants and stuff because they're really pushing the narrative of being a vegan and just animal rights in general. We cut to the ALA hideout and they're celebrating with beers. They're just happy they just did that attack. And one of the members start feeling terrible. He's regretting everything. Is what we did really good? A 5-year-old died in that bombing. Let me tell you something. That 5-year-old just ordered bacon. It killed a pig. Did he feel bad? No, sir. Just the other day, that little nigga probably ordered a burger. Did he feel bad? Fuck them kids, nigga. We do this shit for the love of the game. For the animals. From now on, we doing 10 points for every 5-year-old, and everything above that is 5 points. Sir, yes, sir. Let's go get them kids. All right. As you guys could see, these niggas are absolutely insane. And the group is led by former President of the United States, Barack Obama. And recently he came across a video recorded by somebody at the incident of Charlie saving Lucy and the cat. And if you guys remember, the ALA is the reason Charlie is actually alive. And they have been keeping a tab on him for 15 years straight. And you know they would. Why wouldn't they? After the ALA terrorist attack, people at school start linking Charlie with the ALA just because he's a vegan. And he goes from hero to zero real quick. And now on top of that, the terrorists are stalking him even when he's at school. Wolfie Raps pulls up on Charlie again. And this time he's asking him about, oh, you're a vegan, so you're a terrorist too. Lucy's being a good friend and she's trying to drag Charlie away from the issue. She's like, we don't gotta answer these bums. But Charlie wasn't bothered. He said, bro, I'll answer them. I don't got anything to hide. He picks up the apple and then he speaks his mind. I ain't gonna cap to you, bro. I don't care what you eat. It can be chicken. It can be cows. It can be pigs. It can even be fish. And to be completely honest, it can even be humans. That last part really got them shook. They wasn't expecting that. And they're like, what are you talking about, eat humans? You can't eat humans. That's fucked up. And Charlie starts talking to them. He's like, how's that fair? Y'all tripping over me eating my fruits because I don't want to eat animals. And now y'all want to trip over people eating humans? What the hell makes y'all so special? And let me be clear, I ain't never gonna eat no nigga. That nigga spitting. And after that incident, somebody was introduced, but he was only on screen for like 5 seconds. I want you guys to remember this guy. His name is Garrett. He tells Charlie he's a big fan and he's even a vegan himself. And then he just walks out. And it wasn't even the school that overreacted with the ALA and the Charlie stuff, right? Even the police are keeping a close eye on him. They watch him while he's at school and they even follow him home. The two cops are talking to each other and one of them is a big fan of Charlie. He's a younger guy, so he grew up with all the Charlie stuff. The older cop jumps in and he's like, bro, stop sucking him. He's not who you think he is. And then he starts telling him about an incident that happened between Charlie and like a group of cops. But when he was telling the story, it wasn't the whole story. He was telling him the outcome. And it's not like he was trying to hide details. He just showed up at the very end. But as soon as he walked in, the first thing he saw was 5 cops laid out and Charlie just standing in the middle, naked, undies all out. He always thought that nigga gonna turn on us one day and I'm gonna be ready for it. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't blame him. That is a crazy scene to walk into. Even without the details or with the details, just seeing that is crazy. But then the show cuts to Lucy and she's texting Charlie while walking her bike. And Charlie's game is immaculate, bro. She's glued to her phone and not looking where she's walking. And then she bumps into somebody, the one and only former president, Barack Obama. And I'm not gonna lie, his head a little too long to be Barack Obama. Maybe we should think of another name. Either way, Lucy has no idea who this man is. So genuinely, it's like a random interaction by chance. But then the nigga starts talking about Charlie and asking questions about Charlie. It started getting weird. He was like, bro, I was watching you and Charlie hang out and I was fascinated. So I came here to ask you questions. Lucy was getting freaked out, so she wanted to leave and she started heading out. And then he came up with a smart lie. He was like, oh, I work at the hospital that treats Charlie for his checkups. And that caught her attention. And then he asked one last question. He said, what does Charlie mean to you? And she answered it like this. She said, hey, I just met that nigga the other day, but the one thing he does is show me the world in a different light. And that got that nigga happy. He thanked her and then he said, see you next time, girl with the kaleidoscope eyes. And I can't even hate. He walked away clean as hell. Look at that nigga move. Charlie's parents found out that Charlie actually made friends at school and they were happy. The dad invited Lucy to go to the checkup with them. We cut to the next day and Lucy went with Charlie to his checkup. She asked his doctor if she ever met the guy that walked up on her yesterday. And he said, I ain't never heard of that nigga a day in my life. It left her confused, but she didn't really think much of it. She just forgot about it, I guess. And then they went to go meet Charlie's mom. And not the human mom, the actual mom. Lucy's absolutely fascinated. She can't take her eyes off of her. And Charlie hates this bitch. I ain't gonna lie. It sounds harsh, but she doesn't even know that she gave birth to him, according to him. And I'm saying according to him because she was a genius before the birth. That's why the nigga fucked her. And if I'm being completely honest, I don't know if he actually did her or not. He might have put a syringe in her. I don't know. It's just funnier to say that he did. But like I was saying, Ava, the mother, she was actually a genius. But when she gave birth to him, the birth was so bad that she lost all her intelligence. After staying there for a little bit, the dad said, Lucy, let's go eat. We gonna have dinner at my house and you're invited. And as soon as they were about to leave, Ava started pulling cards out and she wanted to say something. And Lucy immediately realized it. But when Ava was done putting the cards down, it meant absolutely nothing. It was a whole bunch of bullshit. She talking about I am W30. Nigga, you not Wardell? You not Curry? What? After they realized there was nothing, they just left and Lucy went to the house for dinner. When the food came out, it was all vegan food. And Lucy was like, should I become a vegan? I've been thinking about it recently. And the mom gave a little PR trained answer. It wasn't a bad answer. She was like, don't be influenced by what other people do. Choose for yourself. But the dad kept it real. He was like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Hell yeah. It's a good lifestyle. And if you asking me my opinion, I say yeah. After the dinner was finished, Lucy went up to Charlie's room to go check it out. You know what that means? You know what I'm saying? Charlie, get you some. And this is where the show starts to take a turn. We cut outside the house and somebody's watching the house. And it's Barack Obama. I still haven't figured out a name, bro. Give me time. Once they seen Charlie's light turn on, they make their move. Obama sends his 2 lackeys and they put on their ski mask and get ready. The mom is downstairs telling her husband how happy she is that Charlie actually has a friend. And she looks like she actually cares about him. And Charlie's in his room upstairs trying to get... You know what I'm saying? And this is where the ALA make their move. They start picking at the front doors locked trying to get in. But the most insane shit is Charlie heard that little tap and jumped right into action. The 2 lackeys start creeping around the house and the plan was for them to split up. One goes upstairs and captures Charlie and kills Lucy, and the other one stays downstairs and kills his parents. But no siree, that shit not happening with Charlie around. His spidey senses were right and he came down just in time. He yells to his parents and warns them right before he can attack. But that didn't stop the lackey. That only made him go faster. But his dad grabbed grabbed the knife in time and started defending himself. But that was only one of the lackeys. The other one is still on the stairs, and Lucy chose the worst time to run out. When the lackey seen her, he instantly charged at her with the knife, but Charlie acted quick and threw her across the room, jumped off the railing, kicked the other lackey, and while he was doing all that, Lucy just now fell onto the couch. The lackey that was on the stairs saw this as an opportunity to attack her again, but Charlie moves way too fast for him. He puts his knife away because he can't hurt Charlie, and he's ready to throw hands with him. Charlie dodges the first punch, grabs the second one, and he starts squeezing it like he's trying to take this arm off. This reminds me of the time that Hanayama tried to squeeze that one dude's arm right before the fight. The other lackey gets up and tries to sneak Charlie, but he dodges it without even looking. Charlie kicks him, and then they start trading blows after that. Charlie got tired of playing around, so he caught his punch. The lackeys are starting to get desperate, and the other one with one hand brings out his knife, and he tries finishing the job with the parents. Charlie did a useless flip and then landed and pulled the rug from right under them. The parents called the police while all this was happening, and Obama's out back just listening to his men get their ass beat by a monkey. My fault, Charlie. You know I didn't mean it like that. The mom is still on the phone with the cops, and then the lights turn off in the house. They wait for the backup generator to turn back on, and when it does, the people are gone. Obama hit the switch and they made a break for it. The next scene, they're at the police station giving a report about what happened, and we get introduced to Lucy's mom, and she instantly starts talking, "Lucy, I don't want you near that monkey boy ever again." And I don't know about y'all, but that shit sounds racist as fuck. Charlie wasn't bothered one bit though. He kept it pee. We skip to the next day, and then we see a guy walk out his car, look both ways, and then does a secret knock. When the door opens, we see it's one of the ALA members that broke into the house. Y'all see bro sitting on the bed? Charlie did insane damage to his hand. It was so much damage, bro started overdosing on painkillers. They start talking about Charlie and how he's the best version of human and chimpanzee combined, and in the middle of the conversation, they hear a knock at the door. They freak out because they think it's the cops, so they just stay quiet and act like nobody's home. But that didn't work. The door gets smashed in, and y'all won't believe who walked in. It was the GOAT himself, Billa Asad. Nah, just play it. That was a joke, YouTube. I'm not racist. Charlie's mom is worried sick because Charlie's not at school. She called her husband. Her husband's like, "I'm at work." Call the cops. They've been on his ass the whole month. They should know where he's at. We come back to Charlie and we see that he doesn't even want to hurt them. He doesn't want to fight them. He says, "Let's get in the car. Y'all gonna turn yourselves in." Bro right here tried to grab a gun and hide it, but Charlie seen it instantly. He said, "Put that shit back." Obama was smart. He's like, "He got us, bro. Let's just follow his orders." They all get in a car to go turn themselves in. And while they're driving, they're talking about humans, animals, rights, veganism, all that bullshit. As they get close to the station, Obama pulls up his phone and it says, "Gradually speed up." And without even thinking twice, the lackey does exactly what he's told. The conversation continued, and as soon as they got close to the police station, Obama pulled out a pocket knife and stabbed the driver. Him and the other lackey jump out and leave the knife behind. Lucy and Charlie's mom are at the station trying to figure out where he's at. Out of nowhere, they all hear a big ass crash and rush to the scene. Charlie kicks open the car door and walks out unscathed. He looks to his side and he sees the lackey bleeding out. And y'all know Charlie by now. He's a good guy. If you need help, he's gonna help you. He drags him away from the crash and puts him somewhere safer. When the sheriff comes outside, he sees Charlie over the guy with a knife in his hand. Blood everywhere. And without any questions, they arrest Charlie on the spot. And by now y'all should know I'm a reasonable guy. I can see everybody's perspective. The cop comes out and he sees that crazy thing with Charlie. Brother, I don't blame him for arresting him. That looks crazy. He literally caught Charlie red-handed, bro. I would have arrested his ass too. Lucy and Charlie's mom are trying to figure out a way to get him out of jail because bro has no rights whatsoever. When they locked him up, it wasn't a person getting put in jail. It was property getting seized. Charlie's mom starts telling Lucy about the story that happened between Charlie and the sheriff. But this time it's the full story with no bias involved. Basically, high school isn't the first time Charlie went to school. His first time was back in elementary school, and he got along well with the kids. But one day when the class went to the swimming pools, the kids ganged up on Charlie and tried to drown him. And it's not like Charlie couldn't swim, and it wasn't a joke push either. They all jumped in the pool with him and held him down. Charlie had enough and he fought back. And this is where the cops got involved. They start running in because they hear a whole bunch of kids crying. At first, the cops were confused as hell. They're like, "Why y'all all crying?" When they look to the side, they seen Charlie crouched in a corner. And without getting the full story, they all drew their weapons on Charlie. And obviously, Charlie got scared, so he jumped at them to attack, and they all started shooting at him, but not a single bullet hit. And all the cops were knocked out cold. Goof ass nigga, that's what y'all get. And let's not forget, Charlie did all this damage as a 5-year-old. Now imagine what he could do right now. We cut to Charlie in his cell and he's throwing no fit whatsoever. He's just chilling. Right outside, Lucy and his parents are demanding they let him go. And the sheriff wasn't going at all. He was like, "Hell no, that shit not happening." Lucy tries running to him and freeing him herself. And I'm thinking to myself, she can't be serious. Ain't no way that's gonna work. And I was right. A cop grabbed her hoodie and held her back. She started screaming Charlie's name, and that had to be his bad signal, because as soon as he heard that, he wasted no time breaking out and grabbed that cop by his belt buckle. And take a look at his cell. He left the cops terrified. Charlie lets the cop go, and him, Lucy, and his family are ready to go. They don't want to deal with this no more. But then the sheriff pulls out his gun. He said, "You not going nowhere." And then Lucy pulled out the most overpowered move ever, her phone. She started recording that. She said, "Shoot us." And the cop was like, "Bro, I could shoot that monkey. He trying to leave. Y'all trying to take somebody from jail." And Lucy, she played her cards right. She said, "Just a minute ago, you called him property. How the hell am I breaking property out of jail?" The big boss of the police department comes out. He's like, "They're right, bro. Let them go. You're tweaking." And that lets Charlie go free. We gonna skip ahead a little bit, because this next episode is a lot of like Charlie just making friends because Lucy wants to make a plan to get him his rights. But that was easier said than done. When Charlie went back to school after getting freed, they found notes taped on his locker that said, "Fuck vegan terrorists." The people at school hate him more than ever now. But after hella rejections, and I mean hella, they found these two girls that are actually willing to be his friend. And they might sound good, but they did reject him at first. I'm not gonna lie to you. But they did come back around, so it's better than nothing. Now, for this next part I'm gonna cover, I have to give you a warning. It's gonna get really dark, and I mean really dark. I don't want to give away what it is, but just know, even when I was watching it, I was feeling the type of way. I couldn't really it's hard to explain. Just take the warning. So boom, do you guys remember the guy I told you guys to remember? I hope y'all did. If you don't, it don't really matter. I see where we stand, but it don't matter. His name is Garrett. He was right outside where the tree incident happened, right? And he had these posters of like gruesome pictures of animals getting like killed. Wolfie Raps comes by, and his sidekick, they start pressing him. They're like, "We're trying to eat our food. What are you doing, bro? This is nasty." Garrett tells him straight up. He said, "I got permission from the school, and if you feel some type of way, stop killing animals and eating them. Simple." Charlie and Lucy walk by, and they have their two new friends with them. And they see Wolfie Raps grab Bro by his collar, and the two girls run off to go call teacher. Wolfie Raps gets ready to punch him in the face, and right before he can do that, Charlie grabs his arm and stops him. Wolfie Raps lets go, and then Charlie lets go. Lucy tries to help him out. She says, "I'm not gonna lie to you, it's good to protest what you believe in, but when you come after other people's beliefs, they're never gonna really listen to you." And then she said, "You should probably change the way you come at people and make it a lot nicer." He absolutely hated that idea. He asked, "How do you expect to protest slavery without making these slave masters mad?" And coming from a meat eater myself, Wait. Y'all know what I mean, bro. What I was trying to say is, I low-key see where he's coming from. Like, it's not the worst thing to say. I don't believe that we're slave masters. I'm just trying to give me a good meal. And for him to have that kind of belief, I kind of see it. After everything finished, the teachers finally show up. They tell Garrett, "For now, let's just clear everything up and just let the situation settle down for a little bit." But Garrett thought he was doing artistic expression, and he got permission for it. Wolfie Raps absolutely disagreed. He said, "That's political propaganda." And I don't really like Wolfie Raps like that. But with everything going on in this world, he's right. Charlie and them were done with the situation. They wanted nothing to do with it. But as they were leaving, Garrett started turning up. He started screaming at Charlie. He's like, "You the only animal that can talk, but you don't want to speak up for them?" He's basically just screaming at Charlie, calling him a fraud and all sorts of things. But once again, Charlie kept it P. He said, "Why does everybody think I'm MLK or some shit? I only speak for myself and nobody else. I'm one animal. I'm just Charlie." This little incident led to Garrett getting suspended. And the same night, he started to stream on his channel. And y'all would never guess his channel name. He calls it the Red Pill Channel. Of course, right? He tells his viewers what happened at school. And he's like, "I feel powerless." And then his viewers start supporting him. They're like, "Bro, you're good. You're on the right side of history." But then one chatter pops up, and he says, "Hey, what if I could give you the power to fight back?" That catches Garrett's eye, and then he asks, "Who are you?" And then the chatter replies saying, "I think you already know." On top of that, he says, "We right outside your crib. Let me holla at you." And any normal person will be like, "Hell nah, you tweaking, but I'm calling the cops." And from what we already seen, you know Garrett's not no normal person. He went outside to meet up, and it was Obama and his sidekick. They take him to a diner so they can have a conversation. And the owner starts getting mad because they're not ordering no food and they're just eating the veggies. Ultimately, he kicks them out. He said, "Get out my store, bro. I'm tired of y'all." And for a group this insane, they low-key complied without no problem. But right when they were about to leave, the owner opened his mouth and he said some dumb shit. He said, "Hey, don't come back here. I can't stand the breath of you, Garrett could not believe his ears, bro. But then Obama stepped in and handled it pretty nicely. It wasn't the best comeback, but he said, "Put that on your sign and the people you hate would never show up." And right after that, they just left. And if you really thought they weren't gonna do anything about that, bro, you're so wrong. They caught his ass lacking in the middle of the night, just throwing away trash. And then they kidnapped him, put him in the back of the van, and then just started doing him the worst way possible. When Obama was done having his fun, he started telling Garrett the sauce that he promised he was gonna tell him. Y'all know what that sauce is? Absolute violence. He said, "Kill everybody that disagrees with you." Then he pulls out a knife and he says, "This is your initiation, bro. Go crazy." At first, Garrett hesitated, but the moment he grabbed onto that knife, he ain't looked back. he just started going crazy. And I'm only showing y'all like 3 seconds of it, but he stabbed that man for like 45 seconds straight. Now is the time for the warning I gave you guys earlier. I'm gonna put a timestamp right here on the screen, and you guys can just skip to it if you want to skip the whole thing. If not, that's your choice, gang. Buckle up. Actually, I decided to cut that part entirely. YouTube just demonetized my whole channel recently for no reason. I just got it fixed, and I don't plan on going back on their bad side. The scene that I just cut out was a school shoot. And if I got monetized for absolutely no reason, what do you think this will get me? Either way, I want you guys to go check out the show. It's absolutely fire. It comes out every Tuesday, and the school, let me not say it, but the scene is very hard to watch, but it's still worth it. I'm not gonna lie. Go watch it. Like always, though, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, sub. Let's get me to 40K, bro. We're so close. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, the next couple videos I'm about to drop are on absolute gems. Y'all can try to guess it in the comments. If you get it right, though, I'm gonna tell you. I'm not gonna lie to your face.